Hey everybody, welcome back to another Triple Hound video. And we've had a lot of luck using these customizable superhero skins that are currently available in the Fortnite item shop to make different characters and different superheroes that we have really loved. We did a video on making a bunch of Spider-Man characters, Peter Parker Spider-Man, Miles Morales Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, and Silk. We did another video in which we made Spawn and Blue Beetle and Killer Frost. And in this video, I want to make a couple of characters from the Seven, the sort of nefarious, evil superhero cabal that's the main focus of the Amazon show, The Boys, as well as a series of comic books by the same title. So in this, you can see right in front of you, I have Homelander made. He's got dark blue and gold and a dark red cape, which is sort of similar to what he would wear on the television show. I will also make in this video A-Train and Starlight and the Deep. Here is Homelander in my locker, dark red cape, a little bit of gold and gold trim, and an otherwise dark blue outfit. And for him, we're using the same hunter skin that we used for Peter Parker and some other characters along the way. I chose to use Bionic Forge as a pattern, but it doesn't really matter what pattern you use because you're just going to make it all dark blue anyways. If you look at Homelander's costume, it's almost all dark blue. He does have a little bit of red on the edges. He's got some red gloves and he's got some red boots. But it's really hard with the options you have here in front of you to give him a little bit of red without giving him too much red. One thing you could do is use Stalwart, and I'll kind of go into that in a second and maybe see how that would look with a little bit of red, and maybe some of you watching would prefer that. Give him the head accessory A, which is sort of a short, slick back haircut or a well-groomed coif like you would see in The Boys, the television show. He does not have a face covering. He does have a belt. Moving on to his suit style. I made them metallic because he does have something of a texture to his suit on the show, and I used this really dark blue in the very bottom for both colors. You might feel like he needs more red to make him more accurate, and if you want to do that, you could shift to this red color here, and that doesn't look too bad. It does give him the red hands and the red gloves and the red boots. I felt like that was too much red. He doesn't have a thing on his chest in the show, nor does he have the sort of underwear type piece in the television show. He's really dark blue everywhere except for boots and gloves, and he's got some gold trims in other places. So I felt like it was more accurate to just make him straight up blue. But you know what? Let's stick with the red for now, just so he's got the boots and the gloves. And we'll go here to his accessories. I went with this color here because he does have a little bit of gold, like I said, in the trim of his outfit. He's got gold shoulder pads, and we'll get to that in a minute. Gold sort of eagle Americana shoulder pads. I did put eye effects on and gave him red eyes because anybody who's seen the show knows that if he shoots laser beams out of his eyes, they sort of glow red when he's kind of warning that he'll shoot. Skin color I didn't change. I did give him sort of a gold hair tint because he's very blonde in the show, and this hair is very brown if you don't give it a tint. For a logo, I just gave him the Championship 2020 sticker. There's really no logo that's perfect, and that's a common problem for a lot of these skins. But I went with this Championship 2020 sticker. If you've got it, great. If you don't, just something that is kind of out of the way and easy. Maybe this red Cyclo would do the trick if you have that. This hot drop might work if you have that, for instance. But we like this one for this character. For his cape, we went with that same dark red color that we used on, I guess in this case, now that we've equipped it, the gloves and the boots. The secondary color is this gold here, and that's the best we can do in terms of replicating his shoulder pads, his eagle shoulder pads, was to give him this gold piece on the top of his cape. That's approximately the right spot for his shoulders, that type of thing. And again, we used the same Championship 2020 emblem on the back. to match what was on the front. So this is what we have for Homelander. And the next scan I want to show you is our version of Starlight. So we used Dynamo Dancer here, which we have also used for a couple of other characters. We used Dynamo Dancer for Spider-Gwen in a previous video, and she's pretty versatile and has a lot of options to change. So let's take a look at how we made her into Starlight. For this, we decided to use the dynamic pattern on her outfit. If you look at Starlight in the television show, you can see that a lot of the gold trim on her outfit is more angular and pointed, but it's slim and it's sort of very narrow. And this was the closest we could get to something like that. The head accessory B was longer hair like she has in the show. She frequently puts it back. Belt on again. In this case, we used, for the primary material for suit style 1, we used plastic to give it a little bit more of a shine like you see in the television show. And the cloth for the secondary material, again, that's just white. And her outfit is almost entirely white and gold, so it's pretty easy to match up in that regard. Accessory color is this color here as well, all the way down on the bottom. It's as close as we could get to a real gold color. We did try some of these lighter colors as well for her, and you might look at these and decide that you think these look more like Starlight and they look better. We thought they were a little too bright. They were a little too hard to see, and this one looked more like the gold color in her uniform. We went with the same gold on her accessories, like I mentioned. Her eye effects are on because her special power is to emit some sort of light attack, for lack of a better term, and her eyes glow when she's doing it. So we gave her the eye glow and we made that this yellow color. Skin color didn't change. We did give her this light hair tint because, again, like Homelander, she's really blonde, and that's really doesn't show up in the hair unless you give it this highlight, so that makes her as blonde as she needs to be. The sticker for her could be a lot of things. The Championship 2020 sticker that we used for Homelander could also work for her, frankly. It's got the right color scheme. But since I wanted to have different stickers on each of my superheroes, I gave her the sun, sunshine. It's not a star. If you've got some kind of a star-based sticker, that's even better, but this will have to do for now. Now let's move on to her cape, which is an important part of her outfit. You can see it here. We basically used the same kind of cape as we used for Homelander. We didn't even change the color of the part across the top there. It's the same gold we used for Homelander. We just changed the color to white in the emblem to the same sunshine that we had on the front, and otherwise that's exactly the same. This is our Starlight. This is her shining as she does in the show. Next we'll take a look at how we made A-Train. And for A-Train, we're using the hypersonic skin that we used for Miles Morales and Blue Beetle, I think, as well. And with A-Train, we really got lucky with A-Train because the Bionic Forge pattern on his suit is really, really super close to what A-Train actually does wear, at least in terms of patterns, in the show. Accessory A for him with short hair. He does wear those goggles in the show, and the closest we can get, of course, to giving these characters goggles is to put the mask on them, and we did give him a belt. He does wear a belt in the show. For this character, we used metallic and plastic materials for the outfit because they've got a little bit of a shine and texture to them like he does in the Amazon show, and we wanted to replicate that here. The other piece of it is when you use these particular materials, it captures the color a little bit better, we think, with the dark blue. We used the darkest blue on the very bottom line for the trim color here in the sort of the midsection. For the accessories, we used that same dark blue. And we did give him a black eye color, not because he's got black eyes in the show, but when he is wearing his goggles, the goggle color is a very dark color. So we thought that was the closest we could get to replicating his goggles in the show. Didn't need any hair tint for him, and the sticker we put on him was the blue Cyclo, just because it matches his color scheme. So we thought that was as good as we could get in terms of capturing A-Train's color scheme. If you have something with the letter A in it in your sticker collection somewhere, if you favorite it, you could use that on him. I can't think of one like that off the top of my head. Maybe this Ace here because it has an A in it. Maybe you want to get creative with that and put that on for a sticker. He doesn't have a cape, so you don't have to worry about a cape with A-Train. This is really what he is. That's a really close representation of how he looks in the show. The only thing you might want to do differently if you're building this character at home is to make this an even lighter color. He does have a very, very light, it's really almost white blue across his chest. So if you feel like this would be a closer color to what you see in the show, more power to you. We thought this had a little bit too much green in it and was a light, almost teal color, which is not quite right. Or something like this is what we ultimately settled on. So that is A-Train using the hypersonic skin. So now we've got A-Train, we've got Starlight, and we've got Homelander. There's one more I want to show you, and that is the Deep. In order to make the Deep, the best guy for that, I think anyways, is the Blastoff skin. We don't have this skin, but I can make him here in the item shop and at least show you how I would make him if I did have him. I'd give him the short, slicked back hair. That's very similar to what we used for Homelander on a different skin. No mask, but a belt will work for him. I would use either the bold pattern here for the Deep, or more likely even the victorious pattern. If you look at the Deep in the television show, his arms are bare, and we don't really have an option to have a bare armed version on the boundless skin here, but we do have something that replicates the fact that he has like different color down the sides of his costume as in the front, and this is as close as we can get to that. One real sort of nasty shortcoming here is that we don't have a green. We really don't have a good green to work with. So the best we can do is give him this goldish color for the sides, which is pretty close to what you'd see on the show. He has for a primary piece in the middle something that's a little bit shinier, so we gave him metal here. And this, I recognize, looks sort of blue, so it's not perfect, but that's one option to make the Deep. Trouble is when you go true green, it's just a little bit too bright, so it doesn't quite capture the color as well as you'd want to. You can help out a little bit by giving him a darker belt. That helps cover some of that space up, but the second you use this other green color, it really pops out as a lime green, and it doesn't quite do the trick. So a darker green might work here, or even a dark gray might work here. There's really not a perfect way to get the Deep with the costume options you have in front of you. Nothing funny with the eye color, nothing funny with the eye effects. He just has kind of a regular face. Don't have to do anything with a hair tint, although you may want to give him highlights. He does have lighter hair than this character does on the screen in front of you, so you might want to give him blonde or even orange highlights. If you look at his character, his tips are kind of frosted before he shaves his head anyways, and that's not too far off. In terms of a sticker for him, really in a perfect world you wouldn't put a sticker on him, but in keeping with the theme of water characters, you could throw on this Aquaman hand. Really anything water related might work, or anything that's a dark green might work. This Good Game logo is kind of water related, but it doesn't quite have the same color scheme. So I'm going to stick with the Sea Shaka from Aquaman, and that will be our version of the Deep. It's not great. I totally recognize it's not great. The green is not dark enough. The gold/brown is not quite dark enough. But that is what we would do to get the Deep if we were trying to put together the 7 in this game. So we've done the Deep, we've done Homelander, we've done Starlight, and we've done A-Train. Each character in the 7 in the television show The Boys, and I guess in the comic book as well, is pretty close to a traditional superhero. A-Train is sort of their version of the Flash. Homelander is sort of their version of Superman. Queen Maeve is their Wonder Woman. I didn't try to do a Queen Maeve here because there was really no combination of outfit patterns and colors that really looked anything like what she wears. If you really do like Queen Maeve in The Boys, your best bet is to load up this skin. Valor is really the closest you can get to Queen Maeve, and she looks pretty close. If you look at Queen Maeve and you look at Valor, Valor is almost a dead ringer. So if you wanted to do some kind of a video with members of the Seven, and if you happen to have the legendary Valor outfit, Valor is your best bet. She looks a lot like Queen Maeve. We will equip our Homelander skin and jump into some game action and just kind of see how it goes.